Hello again. Oh. Boink. Boink. Let us open the game. Thank you for shouting out HS. Welcome back to anybody here. Is it opening? It is. It's just being slow. Yes. Okay. Or lurk to avoid spoilers. Oh, okay. I understand. Did I do everything I was supposed to do?
It's locked.
I thought we were.
We are.
What's that thing by the handle?
Oh yeah, we don't know how to do this yet.
Let's come back once we
know what to do. That's right. Okay, I think we were gonna start looking in these rooms. I have some pickles I'm going to be snacking on. These are pretty.
Are they paper napkins?
Whatever they are, I like them. It's like a little parade of floating spirits.
Sheet music. It's handwritten.
Pickles.
That's a lot of notes. Looks pretty difficult.
Probably while they're on the floor. Oh, whatever it is, it's playing a little trumpet.
I was very close, I'm sorry.
Well, it is the music room. He's got to practice.
But you got those one-note songs forever. Uh-oh. A shiny statue of a strange creature holding a large horn. There's a noticeable crack running along the length of the statue's horn. Everything is broken in this place. Inside the horn and on the ground below are various shards of cracked glass.
There's a faded mural on the wall.
When I was a kid, I never knew the difference between a mural and a mosaic.
Anything like by a rapper, I can nail down easy.
You still don't know, do you?
No.
Who plays the violin, I wonder?
There's nobody in here, which is interesting.
It's pretty dusty, so I'm guessing nobody.
One old wooden bookcase.
Yep.
25 dry old books.
There's somebody in here?
4 lit candles.
Yeah.
Am I the only one seeing the problem?
Oh, durr. I didn't even see her.
It's one of those big pianos with the open
Wow.
lids.
Don't touch it.
Why not?
Might be haunted.
It's me again. Hey, CJ.
Are you a ghost?
Sally, that's rude. Unless she is a ghost.
It may come as a disappointment, but I am alive.
Ah,
That makes you a suspect, I'm afraid.
I know.
Let me know if that's too loud. I cut up the
My name's
game a little bit.
Poppy. I'm a pointer and a pianist.
we'll need to ask you a few questions about Freya.
You're so poppy. I'm glad you made it. Hello.
You're pretty good.
All in the wrist. And 13 years of dedicated practice. I'm just me. There's nothing to know.
How are you related to the other pointers?
My father is Percival Pointer. The professor spends most of his time hidden away in his tower. Barely speaks to anyone these days. Especially not the fellows.
Do you get on with the fellows?
2 of them. Fifi and Freya are my closest friends. We all turned 19 last year.
Do people ever leave Tangle Tower? I don't mean to be rude. It's just, if you're 19...
You don't have to answer that, Poppy.
It's a fair question. I'd like to move away. Definitely. Fifi, Freya, and I would often talk about it, argue about it. Freya wanted to leave, but Fifi... things are more complicated for her.
What about now?
After what happened, I really don't want to stay here much longer.
Poppy Dada, thank you for shouting out CJ. And welcome back, Coley. I'm sorry you didn't get a notification. Twitch is blank sometimes.
3.5 hours of piano practice. Soon as I wake up. Same as always.
3.5. Does that not hurt your hands?
Sure.
And you do this in the music room?
No, I prefer to practice in my room. When I make mistakes, I like to make them in private.
What did you do after that?
I was supposed to meet Fifi in the library, but I totally forgot. When I finally got down there, she'd already gone. I checked her bedroom, but it was locked.
Was Fifi not in there?
No idea. She keeps her door locked either way. So I went back upstairs and out into the moonlight garden.
What?
The little garden on the roof outside my room.
Was it just you up there?
No. Fitz came outside after a while.
Oh.
His room's on the other side. He's been teaching me about flowers.
He's
So,
been
did
teaching
you
me
talk
about
to him?
flowers.
Really?
You ignored each other.
I didn't say that.
No, it should not hurt your hands, PJ Salt.
Fitz and I were up in the moonlight garden most of the afternoon. Then we heard this sound. Lasted about 3 seconds. I've been trying to decide how to describe it, but I'm struggling. It was like something drilling into a piece of metal, but different. Worse. I was pretty sure it was coming from Flora's tower, so we went up there to check. Her door was locked. Nobody was answering. I knew Freya and Flora were both supposed to be in there, so I made Fitz kick down the door. I went inside. Freya was lying on the floor.
Flora was in the room too?
Yeah. I think she realized what had happened at the same moment I did. I didn't know what to do, so I ran downstairs to get Fifi. Her door was still locked, but I knocked and shouted at her. Eventually, she let me in. The lights were off, but I could see she'd already been crying. I told her what had happened. She didn't believe me. She got angry. First time I've ever seen her angry. I dragged her out into the hall. My father was there too, for some reason. The three of us went back up to Flora's tower. Then Felix arrived. He had Penny with him. Fifi had this idea. She wanted to do some kind of scientific test. She took me down to the library. We were in there about 15 minutes. After she was done, she went back upstairs and I went back to my room.
That's it?
That's it.
I'm curious, the new piece of information that she said was that she heard something that sounded like something drilling into metal. Yeah, I like her as well. Okay, let's talk to her about everything.
Needless noise from tongues expel, unless within the mouth they dwell. The spoken word, unfit for dealing with the shifting form of feeling. Stand unblinking in the face of taciturn and soundless space.
Are you okay, Poppy?
Foregone drifter, holding fast. Days as shadow seeker past. Is it bravery or surrender? Accepting that your world will render nothing darker than the gloom. Some four walls make round a room.
She has a poem about everybody in the family.
Between the lips a silver spoon, a story written all too soon. The chosen dwelling of her heart, unjustly chosen to depart. Lost her liberation lays in the center of a maze.
Hey, Disney.
With surging tide, the waves are thrown, an entity of all its own. On its surface you may see, reflected in the waters be, the orchestrator, pale and still, pulling strings, enacting will.
Okay. Pulling strings, enacting will.
Hard of head, but free of mind, unimprisoned, unconfined. With starry eyes, she sees beyond, behind our walls, beneath our pond. A soul untied, it's hers, it's free. Was then, is now, will ever be.
When did she write these poems, and was she waiting for this moment? I guess. I hope for one family member she says she/he's awful and nothing else. Oh, that's what you hope Poppy to say or me to say?
Softly does the flower grow, all in time, and time is slow. Rest a seed within the earth, but do not rush its gentle birth. Hour by hour, day by day, tune your heart to nature's way. That's me. I'm on a list of murder suspects. Always thought that would be kind of cool, but it's just tedious.
Falls a little short, doesn't it?
Poppy, after all these promises have been broken by one hated family member. All right, time to ask her about all the things I have.
So there are two families living in Tangle Tower?
Mm-hmm. 3 pointers and 5 fellows. 4 fellows.
What's the connection between them?
There isn't one. Not really. It was all built by the Remington family. Flora is a Remington, originally. So was Primrose, my mother. She married into the Pointers, and Flora married into the Fellows.
So, the fellows and the Pointers own the house now?
Flora owns the house. Depending on who you ask. That means her husband Felix owns it too.
What about your father?
His claim over the house kind of fell apart after my mother left.
Where's your mother now?
No idea.
Oh, your mom left?
There's something I noticed about Freya's knife wound.
Hit me.
From what we could tell, the blade went in at an exact right angle, perpendicular to Freya's body. And there's only one small pool of blood. Nothing on Freya's hands, or anywhere else. The whole thing is just a little too peaceful.
What do you make of the statue?
I know that's the only harp in the whole of Tangle Tower. I've never actually seen a real one.
Maybe it's from before your time.
Oh, definitely. See how old this statue is?
What about the symbols? One of them looks like piano keys.
Yeah, weird. This is mine.
Really?
No, well, yes, it was. I gave it to Freya about a year ago.
What was on it?
Nothing. It was blank. Freya said she wanted to record something.
Any idea how it ended up underwater?
Maybe someone wanted to destroy it, but got really lazy.
Knife angle was an important clue in another murder mystery I watched recently. Weird.
Don't you think that's weird? That the letter isn't addressed to anyone? Or signed by anyone?
Someone's being deliberately secretive.
Or they're trying to manipulate you. When I first saw it, I thought it looked like Flora was holding a knife, with blood on the tip.
You don't think that anymore?
No, it was a stupid thing to say. The room was dark. I was in shock. I'm just an idiot.
But it was blood on the tip. If you hadn't said anything, maybe Fifi wouldn't have checked.
Exactly. It's stupid.
But we would have missed out on an important clue.
Is it a clue? Really? Tell me how it's a clue. Tell me how it helps. Nothing about the knife makes any sense. It's just freaking everyone out. Wish I'd never said anything.
That's my kind of distraction, wanting to destroy but lazy.
Freya would always load up the palette with all the exact colors she was gonna need. I think it helped her zone out and focus on the actual painting itself. Like getting all your sheet music lined up before playing a long piece.
Right. So the blob of black paint in the middle, that was for painting Flora?
Flora's dress, yeah. She wears even more black than I do. Why is the glass cracked down one side?
Natural wear and tear, maybe?
No way. Freya took good care of her stuff. What was
there an
inside?
earthquake or something? And that's why everything's
It
broken?
was my mother's originally.
So, why is it up in Flora's room?
She just gets the most use out of it. Freya would borrow it too sometimes.
Does this belong to you, Poppy?
Now that's not really my style, is it?
But who else would own a tape like this?
Literally anybody? Is that supposed to be Flora?
Possibly.
Oh. How nice. Whose paints are those?
They belong to Felix, I think.
I think everybody sees something different.
Did Freya ever tell you what she saw in it?
Not exactly. She said something about it being from a recurring nightmare.
Sorry, but if it was from a nightmare, why would you paint it and leave it in front of your bed?
Maybe she wanted to take control of it. Giving something a physical form can make it easier to deal with. Well, sometimes.
I had so many dreams last night. Do you want to share?
This is a photo of Fifi and Freya, right?
Yeah,
How come you're not in it? You're friends with them too, aren't you?
I'm not really one for photographs.
Fifi looks like she really admires Freya.
Fifi's loyalty to Freya is unshakable. Hey, that's me. Not a bad likeness.
It looks like you're standing in a rose bush.
Is there something wrong with that? belongs to Flora, I think. Is that Fifi's diary? I'm sure I've seen it in her room before.
That's where we found it.
Have you ever read it? Do you know what's written in there?
Nope. I'm sure she wouldn't appreciate me invading her privacy.
I thought you and Fifi were close friends.
Yeah, we are. It's just Fifi's gotten kinda impatient with me recently.
Do you know why?
I'm not sure.
I'm sure she'd tell you if you asked.
Oh, she would. She'd give it to me straight. Probably why I've been avoiding it.
I don't know if there was anything coherent to share, but one thing that stood out was there was a guy from high school in my dream who I didn't know that well and don't know what he's doing. I've never cared about him in any way, but for some reason he shows up in my dreams like once a year. That's crazy.
Did you find that in Fifi's room?
No? Should we have?
No, it's just... It looks like something she'd use, don't you think? Oh, you've been to the greenhouse? What did you think?
Impressive, I guess. But kind of unsettling with Fitz lurking in the shadows the whole time.
Yeah, he does that. Is that a gardening trowel?
Yeah, I think it belongs to Fitz.
Really? Huh, never seen him use it. Don't look at me. I didn't break it.
Does anybody else use the music room?
Yes. I don't know who, but I can tell when somebody else has touched the piano.
I will have periods. I'll have like 3 weeks where I dream vividly every night. And then I'll have like months that go by and I don't recall having any dreams.
All right. Poppy's bedroom is unlocked.
I wonder what's in there.
Later. I'm still
One of those
looking at
pianos.
things.
Don't touch it.
Why not?
Might be haunted.
Sheet music.
That's a lot of
Probably while they're on the floor.
Okay. Let's go in this big room. Classic Fitz. This must be Penelope.
Check out that butterfly.
Looks evil.
Wow, judgmental.
My little writing desk. It's kind of cute.
There's nothing written in the book, although someone's torn a page out of the middle.
Bird diagrams. Hand painted.
They're beautiful. Someone really knows their stuff.
Look at these birds.
They're bird cages, but the birds are coming and going freely.
Is that a metaphor?
Hello, Celeste. I am playing Tangle Tower. It's a point-and-click mystery.
Oh, it totally is. I don't like mirrors. They steal your soul.
How do you get your hair so symmetrical without using a mirror?
I do it by weight. I can feel if one side is heavier than the other.
An especially fancy cage.
And it's home to 3 especially fancy birds.
Fancy birds. Are they comfortable in there?
What's those little windows down there?
I think they're there for draining rainwater.
Oh. Does this count as being outdoors?
Yeah, no, doesn't matter.
Hello.
Oh, just beautiful. What is it?
Huh?
Sort of a delicate jade, but with a little seafoam green, is that right?
Sorry?
Your hair, dear! Which shade do you use? It's lovely! And that shape, you're really pushing the envelope.
Oh, thanks. I do what I can to offset Grimoire's beige on brown ensemble.
Detectives don't need to be brightly colored. We prefer to blend into the background.
Oh, you're the detective? Delightful. Penny Pointer, pleasure.
Penny.
Is that short for
Okay.
Penelope?
Officially,
Oh, Penelope,
yes.
yes.
But I never can be bothered with all 4 syllables of it. Penelope sounds a little ostentatious coming out of the mouth, don't you think?
Sure. Yeah.
I Steved and there's not much information on him. There's a Twitter photo where he looks old, but he hasn't tweeted since 2014. So he looked old in 2014. Birds! Oh, she drank that special water. She got some wings. She's very unusual gloves. I'm sorry you've been busy with schoolwork. I hope you're hanging in okay.
20-something Aquarius love to travel, and nearly all of my friends are birds.
Travel? Where to?
Anywhere at all, as long as it has species worth studying. Ornithology, they call it. I call it the only thing I've ever been good at.
And have you studied the birds here at Tangle Tower?
But of course! Where else do you think I developed my love of the field? No matter where I go, I always find myself coming home to Tangle Tower.
Because of the birds.
Oh, no, because of him! Silly to admit, but I suppose I can't bear for us to be apart.
Who are you talking about?
Oh, don't you know? My fiancé, dear Fitz. He's not really the traveling type, you see.
Fitz fellow.
The very one.
You're engaged to a member of the Fellow family? That's interesting.
I thought...
I'm not especially interested in whatever tedious feuding goes on between our two families. Fitz and I find it much easier to stay out of it altogether.
Wait a second. First of all, she likes birds. She's 20-something, and she's an Aquarius. I'm pretty sure that she's me. But then she said that she's engaged to Fitz. But then, why would Freya paint Fitz and Poppy together? I thought that the PP was Poppy. Pointer. Okay, alright. This is like the exact dialogue from Secret Scarlet Hand about Poppy Dot, except she named herself Penny. Thank you for the host, Hammer. She's incredible, so yes. Aw, you so sweet. I'm doing pretty good, Hammer. Okay.
I awoke early and headed down into the greenhouse to see Fitz. He's always there. Crack of dawn, every morning like clockwork.
How come?
It's where he's happiest. That and he has a great deal of work to do every day. Watering, pruning, mulching, whatever that is.
Do you help him with the work in the greenhouse?
Oh, no. I wouldn't dream of it. I'd probably break something.
So, you stayed with Fitz the whole day?
No. In the early afternoon, he went back inside. Rather suddenly, as it happens.
Did he say why?
He didn't. Probably just a touch of heat stroke, the poor dear. He's more delicate than you'd think.
What did you do after that?
Let's see. I returned to the aviary to feed my birds.
And how many birds are you responsible for?
Officially 4, but in truth it's more like 400.
Can they not feed themselves?
Of course, and they often do. But I think they just like the company. As do I.
You'd so rock those bird wing gloves. Oh, thanks. They definitely don't seem difficult to use my hands while wearing.
Sometime in the evening, I left the aviary and headed back towards my room. But in the hall, I spotted Uncle Pointer heading down the stairs. He was muttering something. Seemed a bit upset, the poor dear. I followed him down, but the grand hall was empty by the time I got there. Empty aside from Detective Hawkshaw, who was loitering over by the library. I don't know what it was, but she looked a little lost. I inquired about the professor, and she told me he'd gone up the Fellow Tower. I ran up the stairs, hoping to catch up with him, but Felix appeared and blocked my path. For some reason, he was coming out of Fitz's bedroom. He looked rather lost, too. I told him I was looking for Uncle. He suggested we look up in Flora's tower room. You could see from the hallway. The door was off its hinges. I knew then something was terribly wrong. A moment later, we were gazing down on the body of poor Freya. Uncle Pointer was there. Fitz, too. Standing over in the corner with Fifi and Poppy.
What about Flora?
Of course, silent as ever. Uncle suggested we should leave. Give the others some space, you know. So he and I both returned to our rooms in Pointer Tower.
Imagine your flailing will transform into fluttering. Oh, thank you. I feel like this game is exactly what I would make if I made a game. It is pretty delightful.
A fellow fellow bird enthusiast. She's quite the expert, truth be told. Studied them professionally at one point. I think her father taught her.
Are you friends with Flora?
A little bit.
A little bit friends.
She's one for the peace and quiet. I dare say I'm a little too loud for her.
I can see that.
I do admire her, though, really. Always felt like she could have done better than settle for Felix.
Ooh.
I said it.
I'm shocked by how many typos I have made and not noticed lately. I haven't noticed any typos.
I must say, I really don't care for the den of self-delusion that he's retreated into. People are better off when they just let themselves be themselves. Between you and me, I think Felix is secretly rather miserable.
This really is me throwing the hot takes.
She mostly ignores me, if I'm honest.
How come?
Well, we're not quite on the same intellectual level.
Oh. you don't need to.
No, it's quite all right. I'm comfortable with it. She's a most unsavory little... She was incredibly rude about my appearance.
Which part? The giant bird arms, or...
If I were her, I'd go easy on the judgment of others. I mean, look at her. She looks like the ghost of a scarecrow. I just wish Uncle Pointer would tell her to behave herself.
Professor Pointer? Why him?
Oh, it was Uncle that called her in. She's his responsibility. Did you not know that?
Okay, tell me about Freya.
She'd sit in the aviary, first thing in the morning, and paint the birds. Sometimes she'd ask me their names.
Freya was interested in studying bird species too?
No, just wanted to know their names. Isabelle, Clementine, Myrtle, Lysandre, Genevieve.
Got it, thanks.
For my 21st birthday, she gave me a framed painting. All the birds from a single spring, with their names written underneath. I can't begin to tell you how much I've treasured it.
Sounds like you two were close.
I feel like I always struggled to articulate my admiration for her, but she had a way of understanding unspoken things.
Yeah, it is interesting that they do spell, they kind of favor like the European spellings of some words, but typically they have American accents.
Isn't he strapping?
He is big.
He is big.
So brooding.
Kinda sulky, yeah.
I can never tell what's going on in that beautiful head of his.
It just sounds like you don't know him very well.
I don't remember asking for your input.
Fitz doesn't really seem into Penny. I do not remember him mentioning her at all. Yeah, this game does kind of remind me of Clue.
Oh, did you talk to Poppy already?
Yeah, a little bit.
And did you make any notes of what she told you?
Yeah, I did.
Lovely. Burn them. It'll all be lies.
Why would Poppy lie to us?
Because that's what she does. She's a snake.
Whoa.
Looks like one, too.
Don't you think you're being a little unfair, Penny?
She started it.
What's the Penny Poppy beef?
Oh, she's beautiful. Who is she? Wait. Is that me?
There's not a character I dislike in this game.
No. It's probably quite impressive. To a visitor, fresh eyes and all that.
Not to you?
Try living in it for 20 years. The sheen wears off. If it wasn't for my fits, I'd have little reason to stay.
What about inheritance? You're the next oldest pointer after your uncle, aren't you?
Well, thank you very much for phrasing it like that. But no, any money left in the Pointer family will pass down directly to Poppy.
Is that fair?
Couldn't care less, to be perfectly honest. Finally! I get to see a detective's case file.
That's a very specific thing to be excited about.
Only last week I asked that miserable hawkshot woman if I could see her case notes.
I'm guessing she said no.
Would have been much more polite if she had just said no. Instead, she was quite rude to me. Accused me of being, what was it? A shallow sensationalist.
Hi, Anna.
I'm sure I've read about this creature somewhere. Don't remember anything about him playing the harp, though. Goodness me. Poppy really doesn't take care of her belongings, does she?
It wasn't in Poppy's room. It was in the little pond in the garden.
Exactly! Hardly the place for it. Hello. Who penned this juicy little number?
We don't know. It's not signed.
An anonymous letter? Classic clue. I doubt Freya intended it, but the overall effect is a little unsettling. Don't you think? It's Flora that's the problem. She's an inescapably haunting presence, bless her. Oh, that's rather sad. Freya doesn't take very good care of her pains, does she? But then she was always rather bohemian, had her own priorities. Gaudy old thing, isn't it? Flora seems very fond of it. I've never understood why. But then I could say the same thing about her husband.
Heyo!
Poppy's gramophone. She's had it for a long time. As a young child, she'd call it her mama phone, on account of it belonging to her mother.
That's cute.
Oh yes, adorable. How terrible.
You recognize it?
The color scheme. 3 different pinks. Obscene. If I'm not mistaken, that little red and white one is supposed to be a bird of some kind. A bit vain to carve wooden figurines of oneself, isn't it? I know a lot of people rather like this painting, but it's a little much for me. I find it overbearing. And for some reason, it makes me feel bad for Freya. I think she was more trouble than we knew.
I love the music so far.
Freya was very talented, even at that age.
Do you know how old this photo is?
Not sure. Must be a couple of years at least. Sometime before Fiona settled on her current style. Very nice.
You've seen these before?
Yes.
All of them. Even this one of...
Yes. Somebody taking an interest in extinct animals.
Extinct.
Oh, yes. The book is very old.
So
Most
there
of
must
the
be
birds
some
in
sort
our
of beef
long
between Penny and Poppy
What
here
about this
because...
bird, though? The ink dip.
This
Hang
one.
on.
Well, it was thought to be extinct for a long time. Then one was found here at Tangle Tower.
So it's not extinct.
You misunderstand. It was the last one. The very last.
Oh.
So she's not happy about Freya's drawing of Fitz and Poppy in the garden. She's already said that Poppy's a liar and a snake. So I'm trying to figure out what's their beef? Is it that I don't know, is it like an arranged marriage between like Fitz and Penny, but Fitz actually likes Poppy? Cause like he did not mention Penny at all when we talked to him.
Ooh, a secret diary.
That's our guess too.
Excellent.
Penny seems to like him though. Yeah, she called him strapping. Is there beef? The big side of beef? Fitz? What? Why does Fifi look like Dexter? Their beef is a New York strip. Ayo.
But these must have been drawn at least a year ago. Oh, how sad. I don't know what that is. delightful. More of a gemstone than a fruit, isn't it?
Inedible, too, I think.
Yes. At one point I thought Fitz might be growing them to sell them. But honestly, I think he just likes the way they look. Oh, did Fitz show you that?
Not exactly.
We found it hidden under his bed.
Ah, right.
Hunk of beef? I was just claiming their argument is Fitz. In my own dumb way. Their argument is Fitz? Oh, that they're arguing over Fitz.
Haven't seen this one in a while. He lives in the music room, doesn't he?
Currently.
I must say the girls are awfully well behaved today. I think they know we're in the presence of company.
They belong to you. Why do you keep them in a cage?
They need a special diet, particular treatment. I let them out to fly occasionally.
Their argument is over Fitz.
but they're
Okay,
over the
it's
kind
fine. I'm just
like
trying to keep up.
anything can happen to them.
Do they have names?
Of course. Let me introduce you to Tabitha, Tamara, and Tatiana.
I've already forgotten all three of those names.
Which one is which?
Oh, that's simple. Tatiana is the oldest, Tabitha is the most patient, and Tamara has the best sense of rhythm.
Glad we cleared that up.
What about the one on your head?
On my head? He's just my hat. He doesn't have a name. Who would name their hat?
Okay,
We can get into Penny's room now.
everyone is showing up pink in your chat.
Now, like, right now?
Later. I'm okay with that. Okay, let us go here. Penny's room. This is a cute room.
Ever get the feeling you're being watched?
The mannequins don't have eyes, though.
That's not a comforting sentence. That's some flower.
There's something weird about it. It just feels out of place.
Penny would call that pink obscene. Potted flower. It looks like Penny. A brightly colored flower with an unusual shape. It looks very healthy and well looked after. The soil in the pot looks fresh and moist. It's also an unusual blue color. Maybe Fitz does love Penny if he grew a flower that looks like her.
Looks like nature invited itself in. Rude. Looks like nature. Rude.
It's a birdhouse.
Are those real birds?
Oh,
Nope. They're wooden.
They're using up all the perches. What if a real bird wanted to use it?
let's see. Yellow and blue would make green. Green and white would make mint. Green and red would make brown.
I got it.
Ayo! I just figured that out because colors.
I'm impressed.
I also like the birds. What a pro. First try. I was just figuring because like with the lines and I was like, obviously they have to be like somehow connected. So I was just looking at the colors and I was like, brown. Brown is what happens when you mix like a primary with the mixture of the other two primaries. And I saw green was there. So anyway, that was just how my brain went. And so I just...
Did the door open? What's in there?
A ripped piece of paper, crumpled into a ball. Red flower petals were found inside. A message is angrily scrawled into the paper. Now I'll get her. Red flower petals could mean rose petals. And remember, Poppy said something like, is it wrong that the picture has me standing in a rose bush or whatever? Hang on, I want to check something real quick. Wait. Okay.
Traveling cases.
Empty. All of them.
A little tea set. Most recently used.
One of the cups has tea in it.
What's in the other one?
Birdseed. A little bedtime reading.
Let's see. Romance novels, detective novels, and
What?
this one appears to be both.
Nice.
Detective romance novel.
That bed. It's like something from a fairy tale.
Does it feel warm over here? Or is it just me?
No, you're right. Maybe the bed has some kind of heater.
It's not coming from the bed. It's coming from the wall.
That bed.
Does it feel...
No, you're
It's
right.
not coming from the bed.
This is the fanciest room so far.
Too fancy.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
That might be the most pointless staircase I've ever seen.
I like her room minus the mannequins. Same. Okay, I think we're done here. And isn't it also weird that Poppy's room and Fitz's room are connected by like a secret garden that you have to get to by going through one of their rooms? Wouldn't you think that that would, I mean, that would bother me if I was Penny?
A lamp. It is most definitely turned off.
Suspicious.
Empty.
More handwritten sheet music.
Anything in the wardrobe?
I thought we determined you were Penny. Oh yeah. That's me with my bird arms.
Dresses mostly. I never realized there are so many shades of black.
Yeah, there's black, and then there's dark black, and then there's faded black.
Just a bunch of clothes
Then
on the
there's
floor.
midnight, and then there's shadow.
Nothing weird about that.
To you.
That is the bed of a vampire.
I thought vampires slept in coffins.
This is a vampire who needs firm support for their lower back. That is
I
the
thought
bed. This is a vampire who needs firm support. Oh, thank goodness, there are 7 lit candles. Wouldn't want it to be dark in here.
It's an octopus.
No, it's not. It has 6 legs, not 8. Don't say it.
Sextopus.
Anything in the drawers?
Nothing you need to know about.
Oh, thank goodness. Wouldn't want it to be dark.
It's a metronome for keeping time.
It's ticking. Is it a bomb?
It's supposed to be ticking. Not sure what those symbols are, though.
Use the buttons to rotate all 4 metronome dials up to the top, up to the hoop at the top. Oh my.
There we go.
Hey Zach, how are you doing? I'm doing pretty good. I hope you're doing well.
Perfect.
I'm a puzzle pro.
What happened?
A little hatch unlocked in the back.
Anything in there?
Mm-hmm. It's a photograph. Part of a photograph.
Who is that? The ripped photo shows a young girl with blonde hair and pink clothes. The girl in the photo is using a bright pink cassette player with matching headphones. Is this what Poppy used to look like? The rest of the photo shows Fifi and Freya. It was hidden in Freya's room.
There's something about that pink cassette tape. Something suspicious.
Let's ask Poppy about it.
Later.
Various handmade posters.
What do you think those symbols mean?
Hopefully, nothing. A big glass door leads out into a garden. Somehow.
There's a little mechanism by the handle.
Ah, I know what to do. I gotta make note of where all the... Okay. I gotta write this down. I need a pen. Let me get a pen and a piece of paper. Be right back. Okay, I gotta make note of where the stars are, or the suns are on this side, and then where the moons are on the other side. Okay, so this is, I gotta draw. I'm drawing a grid. Here, 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 here. Okay. And then I gotta find out
I guess
where
we'll come back later.
the moons are. Yeah, it is kind of like that.
There's a name for this kind of piano.
An upright?
You know, these ones that stand upright. Sheet music.
It's only a few notes. I'd barely even call
Yeah,
it.
it's been framed though. Must be important for some reason.
The sheet music has been framed and is decorated with delicate old-fashioned illustrations. Okay.
A single red rose. How very traditional.
Yeah, weird.
There's something going on between Poppy and Fitz. There is. It's just, it's there. Astronomy tower.
It's tidier than my desk. Oh, the notebook is untouched. It's completely blank.
So, even the most well-used notebooks start off blank.
True.
It's tidier than my desk.
So, even the most well-used notebooks start
A picture frame.
with no picture.
It's a chart of the solar system. Which planet are you from, Sally?
Yeah, doesn't he look a little bit like he could be
It's
dangerous?
too cloudy to see any stars right now.
It's also
It's also
day.
daytime.
It's also daytime.
What is it?
It's clearly some kind of large device.
You're not wrong. You know, I've always wanted one of those.
A mechanical solar system? What would you do with it?
I would look at it.
Wait a minute. Earth in the middle, sun on the outside. How old is this thing?
Rotate the 5 planets, the sun and the moon, around the middle. What in the actual? Oh, see these? Okay, there's Earth. Got him. Geocentric, y'all.
No, that was it.
Nice work.
I like these puzzles.
Did you hear that? Something unlocked.
There's a little hatch underneath. What's in there?
A bunch of paper. Looks like somebody's research.
Golden beetle. Various research notes and diagrams. 4. The golden beetle, named for its exoskeleton, composed of a mineral approximately 90% identical to gold, has a lifespan of several years. It fends off predators with a loud hiss, records of over 95 decibels, and by being completely undigestible. The mistid has a somewhat spurious reputation for causing ill fortune to those that see it.
A Spyglass to the Stars. Volumes 1 to 12.
They're in very good condition.
Trinkets.
They're clearly gizmos.
Oh.
A bell jar. It's empty.
What do people normally keep in bell jars?
Other than bells, you mean? It's too cloudy.
It's also daytime.
Trinkets.
They're clearly gizmos.
Let's at least introduce ourselves before touching his telescope.
Always a good roll.
Hello.
Shh, listen. Do you hear them? The stars. They're whispering. So quiet, and yet so loud.
What are they whispering about? Are they spreading rumors about us?
I shouldn't think they concern themselves with such insignificance. We are but specks of dust, you and I.
Mm-hmm. Could this speck of dust start by telling me his name?
You find yourself standing in the astronomy tower of one Professor Percival Pointer.
Seems like this tower belongs to the Pointers, and the other one belongs to the Fellows.
Well observed, my dear. Tangle Tower is something of a duality, as it happens. Meaningless boundaries, really. They exist only in our minds.
Helpful.
Me? Not much to say.
Oh, I'm sliding around.
Strictly speaking, I'm the current head of the Pointer family. And, of course, father to my precious Poppy.
And a professional astronomer?
Oh, no, that's just a little hobby. I mean, yes, I've studied the stars for over 35 years, published 17 books.
Just a little hobby.
Sounds like you're quite well known. You must bring in a good amount of money.
Oh, dear me, no. My field of research has never yielded any kind of stable financial return, nor would I expect it to. I am nothing but a humble interpreter for the cosmos, working to translate its message so that I may share it with the world.
Cool. Tell the Cosmos I say hi.
Professor Percival Pointer. Pointer dog wearing glasses. Enjoy your homework as best you can, exactly what Tara said.
The day began as any other, with blissful, unremarkable routine. I took my usual morning walk around the gardens. Fresh air does wonders for the mind.
Did you see anyone else?
Penelope and Fitz were in the greenhouse together. I didn't bother them, of course. I sat for a while besides the pond in the garden. It's a favorite spot of mine. Eventually, I returned to my tower and buried myself in my studies for the afternoon.
Did you use your telescope yesterday?
Once the stars began to appear, naturally.
For how long?
I can't say. I've been known to lose hours at my telescope.
Did you see anything?
No actual discoveries, if that's what you mean.
So you were all alone up in the astronomy tower. Must have been a while before you found out what had happened to Freya.
Quite. Normally, I would be the last to find out about such a thing. But a curious tug of fate led me towards the fellow tower later that evening. I was at my telescope for the majority of the evening, but at one point I returned to my desk to look something up in a reference book. I couldn't find the book I wanted, so I figured Fiona must have borrowed it. I left my tower and headed down towards the Grand Hall. I spotted Detective Hawkshaw coming out of the library. She looked impatient and slightly frustrated.
Same as ever, then?
Quite. I passed her by and went upstairs to Fiona's room. The door was locked, but I could hear shouting coming from inside. I recognized Fiona's voice as well as the voice of my own daughter. I had no desire to invade their privacy by eavesdropping, so I waited for them to finish and come out into the hall. Before I could ask about the book, Poppy grabbed my hand and took me upstairs along with Fiona. It was apparent that both of them had already been crying about something. We went up to Flora's tower. Freya was laying on her back, right in the middle of the room. Flora and Fitz were already there. They both looked stoic as ever. Felix and Penny arrived shortly after we did, and then Fiona went downstairs with Poppy for some reason. I quickly decided that I should leave also. I took Penelope with me, and we both went back to our rooms in Pointer Tower.
Why did you leave so quickly? Wasn't there anything you could have done to help?
Don't take this the wrong way, but the whole ordeal is fellow family business. I'm quite sure they don't need me getting in the way at a time like that.
Okay, let's ask him about all the things and all the people. He must be the last person to meet because our page is all filled up.
A listless soul drifting through the ether.
What's wrong with her?
Not sure. She's always been troubled. Comes from a dysfunctional family. I'd say you could ask her about it, but I think you might find that to be a bit of a dead end. He should learn to make the most of his lot in life. And he does have a lot in life.
You're talking about money?
Among other things, but yes, he currently has agency over a small fortune. That is, if he hasn't already squandered it or lost it.
You two don't get on?
Oh no, we're the best of friends. Ah yes, the heiress of Tangle Tower. Goodness knows what'll happen when she takes charge. I dare say she'll confiscate my telescope and replace it with a microscope.
She doesn't seem to be the type to impress her will on others.
Still, keep an eye on her. Dangerously intelligent, that one.
You sound jealous. Wait, are you two science rivals?
Oh no, we operate on very different wavelengths. Literally. Hard to read, that one, but she seems to know what she's doing.
She's kind of mean.
She's
You know,
kind
I
of mean.
simply assumed all detectives were sharp, rigorous, and thorough. Then, of course, I met you.
Oof.
Nobody could deny her talent. She was remarkable, artistically gifted, but also highly intelligent.
Those two things aren't mutually exclusive, you know.
Was she ever interested in astronomy?
I don't think she was. The fault may well lie with me for failing to inspire her, but I think she was captivated by more tangible things here on Earth. My daughter loved her. Fiona, too. That said, in the last year or so, more and more I've begun to notice her by herself, wandering the gardens at the most peculiar hours. She must have explored every inch of the grounds 100 times over. Quite a restless spirit, I think. I'm surprised she chose to live at Tangle Tower as long as she did. What do you want me to say? He's the gardener.
He's a member of the family.
Yeah, but not the Pointer family.
What happened to his parents, do you know?
His father, Flint, is Felix's brother. Strange man. Don't think anybody knows what happened to him, but he certainly doesn't live here anymore.
What about his mother?
Emily? I've not met her. She never actually married into the fellow family. Her relationship with Flint was, it was short-lived. I don't especially want to talk about myself. Introspection often leads to vanity.
Wait, does it?
Why don't we discuss the moons of Jupiter instead?
I'm not sure if we have time.
Just
Aren't there, like,
this and
10 of them?
this a lot.
3.
Yeah, we don't have time.
Ah, Penelope, our resident ornithologist.
Penny's your niece, is that right?
At this moment in time, until she marries the gardener.
She'll still be your niece.
But she'll depart from the world of the Pointers and join the Fellows. Like rats deserting a sinking ship.
Wow. He has some sort of deep-seated rivalry with the fellows.
My Poppy, my pride and joy. Exceptionally talented pianist from a young age. Hold on. Why is she on your list of suspects?
Because she's a suspect.
Oh, no. I can personally vouch for her innocence. She'd never... Well, the truth is, she loved Freya very dearly.
If you don't mind me asking, what happened to Poppy's mother?
Primrose? She was Flora's sister, a Remington by birth. The playing field has never really been even since she left.
Where did she go?
Away. She went away.
That's sad. Okay, we got lots of stuff to ask him about.
So which one is Tangle Tower?
What's that?
There are 2 towers, right? Flora's tower and your astronomy tower.
Neither? Truly, I have no idea. You'd have to ask Flora.
She named the house?
The whole thing is a result of her squabbling with her family.
With Felix, you mean? Her husband?
Crunch. Let's ask him. I mean, I'm just eating my pickles, okay?
The family was a rather tumultuous little unit, you see. I don't think Flora has spoken with any of them in over a decade.
Whoa. I could not go a decade without talking to my sister, like, even if we had some sort of terrible fight.
Not exactly a wealth of information, is it?
It's enough.
A very old statue indeed. I'd recommend you leave it well alone. The poor fellow's in bad enough shape as it is. Isn't the process of decay fascinating?
It's not really decaying. It's plastic.
It's becoming one with nature, all the same.
I'm lucky in the sense that I am eating pickles.
Where on earth did you find that?
It was in a bush outside.
Oh,
I think
not all
someone
siblings
threw
are
it
as tight.
away.
This is true.
How peculiar.
I have been blessed with a good relationship with my sister.
I find that painting to be in rather bad taste.
Oh, yeah?
The knife with real blood on it?
And
The
blessed
whole
with
thing is
pickles.
rather vulgar. Here's a thought. Do you suppose the paintbrush could be the murder weapon? After all, it was found at the scene, right next to Freya's body.
I guess it's possible.
Is this important?
Possibly.
Curious little thing, isn't it? You know what she keeps in there?
Nothing. At the moment. It was empty when we opened it.
How bizarre.
Can't a woman keep an empty egg in her room?
I legit forgot I had a brother for a bit once. Wow.
Pointer property originally, purloined by the fellows. Typical. I haven't seen that tape for a long time. Who broke it?
No idea.
Ah, well. Possessions are fleeting, my friend.
That's okay. I forget I have a sister. You have a sister? I know you have a sister-in-law. You have a sister? I have a what now?
This looks a little rushed, even by Felix's standards.
At least he tried.
Yes, I suppose it's good for the old fellow to have a hobby. Keeps his mind from decaying, you know.
I know you have a brother because I banned him once on Twitch.
This is supposed to be Felix, is it?
I think so.
I see he's afforded himself considerable artistic license.
I forgot all 3 of E's siblings. I don't remember their names. I remember his cousin's name, though.
Freya was well acquainted with the abstract, I'll say that much.
What does it look like to you?
To me, it's a big, red thing.
Oh, okay.
Fascinating interpretation.
He's right, though. It is a big red thing.
Poppy's 2 closest friends. Freya looks so innocent there.
I have a difficult time with a lot of family members, and I'd been distancing myself, and I was really good friends with this one guy in college, and I was like, this must be what it's like to have a little brother. And I was walking around thinking that for like 2 to 3 weeks. To be fair, my brother is older. And then all of a sudden I was like, wait, I have a brother. Wisp. His siblings, D, E, and F. E's father and mother being A and B.
These were drawn by Freya. She must have drawn that one of Hawkshaw rather recently.
I guess.
That's a very old book, isn't it?
You were
Looks like
walking
someone
out.
could have taken better care of it.
I like the look of a well-read book. Better than one that's never been opened.
Ah, well put.
For emphasis. That does work because he is the third child, yeah.
A diary can be a wonderful outlet for an outpouring of one's soul.
How do you know it's a diary?
I suppose I don't, but it does look like a diary. Yes, very nice. Where is that bird of Flora's? It's been a while since I've seen it. What's this?
It looks like it might be a telescope. Thought you might know something about it.
Well, it certainly is a telescope. It has a part there to screw onto a tripod, you see? It's rather small, though. I'm not sure you could see many stars with it.
No, probably not.
Fitz seems rather keen to grow things like this in his greenhouse, doesn't he?
What's wrong with that?
Well, you can't eat it. Makes you wonder why he bothers at all.
Oh! Hello! Hello, Holland. Thanks for popping in to say hello. I hope your Saturday's going well. You're right, CJ. I could spy on the tapestries in my room. Thank you for shouting out, Holland. Woohoo! Finishing up lunch break.
Curious creature, isn't it? Some sort of amphibious bipedal fishman.
Playing a trumpet.
Playing a trumpet, yes.
Yes.
That's rather a small cage for 3 birds, isn't it? But then, aren't we all trapped in a cage? What kind of flower is that?
We're not sure. I think it might be the only one of its kind.
Primrose would know. My wife was a floriculturalist. Best in the field. That's a flower joke, but she was.
Interesting.
That's a flower joke.
Well now, that is most definitely none of my business. Quite possibly none of yours either.
Ooh.
What a precious photograph. She hasn't changed a bit, has she?
Who?
Oh, if you don't know, perhaps I don't either.
That's gotta be what Poppy looked like before she went all emo.
Oh my. This is the first piece that Primrose ever learnt on the piano. Primrose, that is Poppy's mother. She passed it down to Poppy when she started teaching her how to play.
Poppy's piano teacher was her mother?
Of course. Warms my heart to know that after everything, Poppy still has it up on her wall.
This music is game really nice. I think you meant this game has really nice music. This in-game music is really nice. Got it. Those D sharps are interesting for a first piece.
So, we found some research. What's up with this golden beetle? Is this something you're studying?
I can't help you, I'm afraid. I think it must be something left behind by a previous inhabitant of Tangle Tower. I'm not the first scientist to ever walk these halls, you know.
Well, it wasn't in the halls. It was in your astronomy tower.
Okay, we've asked him about everything.
That's all the statements.
Let's go over them all.
Sure. We're going all the way here?
That's all the statements collected, let's run through them all to see if anything doesn't add up.
To see if anyone's been lying.
That too.
Fitz and I were up in the Moonlight Garden most of the afternoon. Then we heard this sound. Lasted about 3 seconds.
We thought it was coming from Flora's tower, so we went up there.
Her door was locked. Nobody was answering. So I made Fitz kick down the door.
Poppy and I went in. Freya was right there, laying on her back.
I left my tower and headed down towards the Grand Hall.
But in the hall, I spotted Uncle Pointer heading down the stairs.
I vacated the library, but before I could begin my ascent, Professor Pointer appeared.
I didn't know what to do. So I ran downstairs to get Fifi.
I heard someone heading down the stairs, just outside my room.
Someone began banging on the door. I ignored it, until the someone began shouting at me.
Eventually, she let me in.
I spotted Detective Hawkshaw coming out of the library.
He emerged from the Pointer staircase, crossed the hall, and begun up the fellow staircase. As I was passing through the front door, Penelope called out from behind me.
I inquired about the professor, and she told me he'd gone up the fellow tower.
I told her what had happened. She didn't believe me. She got angry.
I thought she was playing a trick on me, so I punched her in the face.
I recognized Fiona's voice as well as the voice of my own daughter.
We left the room, and Poppy's father was waiting outside. He followed us upstairs.
I'm pausing this to answer your question. And that's a good point, Tara. I didn't think about that. Hawkshaw said she was here to investigate something else and had been here like 3 days before Freya died. So, but she didn't reveal like what she was investigating before.
I ran up the stairs, hoping to catch up with him, but Felix appeared and blocked my path.
Back in the hallway, I bumped into a very concerned-looking Penelope. She was heading up Fellow Tower to find Professor Pointer. So I escorted her.
Poppy left the room for a while. When she came back, she had her father with her, and Fifi too.
Felix and Penny arrived shortly after we
Wait,
did.
what?
A moment later, we were gazing down on the body of poor Freya.
Wait a second. Fritz just said Poppy left and returned with her father. Wait, I'm confused. Let me keep going.
Then, I took a sample of the red paint on the unfinished painting.
She took me down to the library. We were in there about 15 minutes.
I quickly decided that I should leave also.
Bye, Holland.
I
Good
took
luck with your
Penelope
boards
me, and we both
review.
went back to our rooms in Pointer Tower.
I wanted to go back to my room, but I realized nobody had told Detective Hawkshaw anything.
An unremarkable hour passed before the gardener finally made his appearance.
I think she was annoyed about being made to wait outside so long. But when I told her about Freya, she fell silent.
That's disappointing.
What is?
All the statements line up with each other.
They don't just line up. Some of them even seem to specifically confirm each other.
Okay, so what we do now? Oh, this is why. Is there French? Yep. European French and Canadian French. They even have Australian English. This is just text, though. I don't think there's any options for voiceovers to be different. Okay, so let's look at everything again.
I'm still not sure.
Should we take another look?
No, I still don't know.
Let's come back.
I want to go to Fitz's room and do this puzzle.
It's locked.
I thought we
We
were.
are.
What's that thing by the handle?
And I want to look at where the moons are. Which is here, 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 here. Okay, so let me put the sun. Bonk.
It made a noise.
I guess that was right.
When the moon sleeps and the sun plays.
And the door's still locked.
I still feel like we made some sort of progress.
Yeah, but I have to do the other side. So to the other side. We're getting our steps in today.
A big glass door leads out.
There's a little mechanism by.
Something happened.
That must be it. Finally, it's open.
Got him.
Whatever's on the other side better be worth it.
Have you ever danced with the devil in the pale moonlight? I have not. This is lovely.
It's another little statue, doing a really bad job of hiding in the bushes.
You should try it. I should try dancing with the devil in the pale
He's
moonlight.
playing a lute this time.
He's also wearing headphones.
Well, they're not part of the statue. And they're not headphones. They're earmuffs.
A slightly weathered statue of a strange creature holding a lute. A pair of earmuffs has been placed on the head of the statue.
It's a rose bush, growing on a little patch of bluish soil. Apart from a couple of loose petals on one side, the whole thing looks very well cared for.
The roses are bright red, too.
Now, aren't roses normally that color?
He went down to Georgia looking for a soul to steal.
Exactly.
He is super rocking that lute.
It's one big dragonfly.
Or one very small dragon.
Yeah, that's it.
Ah, a little water feature.
It's making me sleepy.
Wonder how it's hooked up.
Giant stone frog. Love it.
Ah, he's got his tongue out like he's catching snowflakes.
Except those aren't snowflakes. They're feathers.
Went to Jamaica looking for some weed to steal. The feathers were mostly found resting on the tongue of the large stone frog. None of the feathers are from the ink-dip bird.
More egg statues.
I don't get it. Why eggs?
Well, either they have some special significance, or the sculptor was just really lazy.
What do you mean?
An egg has got to be the easiest shape to make.
A little pond.
It looks really, really deep, for some reason. See those metal bars around the edges, too?
Oh yeah. What do you suppose they're for?
Nothing anymore. Looks like somebody broke them and then never bothered to fix it.
Oh good. A bridge. I'm glad to know there's a way to get across that tiny, tiny pond.
Not all bridges are about getting across stuff.
Isn't that the purpose of a bridge?
More egg statues.
I don't get
Well,
it.
are the sculptors.
What do you mean?
An egg has got to be the easiest shape. It's so relaxing. I might just stay here.
How shall I go there?
That'd be great.
Careful, we're pretty high up.
Yeah, we're on a roof.
Is that it? Is that all there is to look at?
It's the door into Fitz's room.
So you can stand above the
One of
pond and
only
look down
two
into the
ways to get
water.
into the garden.
Oh yeah. The door into Poppy's room.
So only Poppy and Fitz can get into the garden?
Ah, I guess so.
Okay. I feel like we need to talk to some people about some stuff. But also, why does it want me to go in here? The music room? Oh yeah, because it wants me to ask what's her face about that tape, so I'm going to do that. What's up, girl?
Oh, whatever it is, it's...
Well, it is gotta
What's
practice.
with all the broken glass?
I already looked at this.